This is ESPN Radio 1037 and 1450. Zach Seyko here, and on the line today we have State College girls varsity lacrosse head coach Tara Hohenshelt. Tara, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me today. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm excited to get to have this conversation around the team, especially with how successful the season has been. The listeners are definitely going to look forward to this. We're going to basically have a conversation about the past, present, and future, how the team came together in the offseason, what's been going well to lead to 9 wins currently at the time of this conversation, and an eventual district playoff berth here. But I want to start with who you are as a coach and what kind of program you're trying to continue to build at State College.
Well, I've had a lot of experience in the past coaching at the collegiate level and at the high school level. So coming in to State College girls lacrosse program, I was really excited to see that we had student athletes who were really eager to learn, who were coachable, who are great athletes, who know, and understand what it means to be great teammates. So for me to just come in and kind of step into this role, I felt really lucky and really blessed to have this opportunity to lead this program.
What are some of the values, maybe the kind of team that you really want to lead? Is this a team that's fast, finesse, agile, a team that might be a little more physical than others? What kind of mentality do you want your players to have out on the field?
Well, first and foremost, I want players who are committed to not only, being present and being competitive during the season, but that are committed to the process throughout the school year. The culture is built in the off season, and we really had a lot of a great attendance throughout the year to be able to come in and start at a higher skill level than my first year. So just because of COVID, but we want players with a team first mentality, players who are going to take risks. We want them to, feel like they are in an environment where they can make mistakes and try new things. The players that do take those risks and put themselves out there are way more coachable than the ones that are hesitant or reserved.
And you have a lengthy resume in this sport. I mean, playing 4 years at Penn State as a defender and then coaching for a long time in other various locations as well, but coming back to Penn State to be an assistant. What were some of the learning moments that really stuck with you through your playing career, early in your coaching career, that have helped you to this point?
I think it's first and foremost is always to keep in mind that this is a game that's supposed to be fun, so we always find the joy in the ups and the downs. I think the other thing is my biggest coaching moment for me that really, made the light bulb go off is to not have expectations. I can't expect that the players know everything and know what to do in every moment. So it's really my job and our coaching staff's job to teach them exactly what we want for them to do out on the field and to be able to make decisions in a game-like situation.
How's the game changed since the late 90s to now in 2022?
Oh my gosh, it looks completely different. So back in the day when I played, we had no boundaries, we had no goggles, we had no restraining lines. I was a defender. I was not a very skilled defender as far as stick skill wise. I really, my teammates, we let them take care of the ball. I wasn't allowed to cross the 50 pretty much. But I think in this day and age with the speed of the game, these players are just way more athletic. I think the equipment's way better. I really love the rules. The rules keep us accountable. The game is faster. It's more dynamic. And the players are just, they have a lot more knowledge of game IQ and they have more access to skills and drills throughout the school year, especially what they can find on social media. So we always, if we're doing any training sessions, we always, try to bring up that conversation of what did you find? What did you see? So did you find something that caught your eye? Let's try this. Let's try, the Twizzler. Let's try behind the back. Let's try, a two-man play. Like just keeping things fresh and keeping things moving. It's way different than when I played back in college in 1997.
Last question about your background here, because you've been up and down between high school, at coaching at the high school level, and then coaching at the collegiate level. I know the obvious biggest difference is the talent, the speed, and the skill set. But was there a rewarding sense of returning back to the high school level? Because, like I said, you were an assistant in Penn State, and then to settle in at State College as the head coach. How did that decision come about?
I actually decided to step down from Penn State because my husband was coaching at the time, and we were both coaching at the Division I level. He was coaching women's volleyball. We have 3 children, and at that time, with both of us gone a majority of the year, we weren't home. So, I wanted to be present for what our kids were doing and be able to attend their activities on a daily basis. So, I just got very fortunate by having this opportunity come about. And I think the most rewarding thing about being around the high school student athletes is that they want to learn the game. There's a wide range of experience and exposure. So I have seniors that are going off to college to play at the collegiate level, and I also have freshmen and sophomores who have never once played the game before. So, you find that happy medium of meeting all needs and really breaking down the game and teaching them what it's supposed to look like. And I feel like, that's where I find so much joy in coaching this game.
State College girls varsity lacrosse head coach and former Penn State lacrosse player Tara Hohenshelt is on the line with us. Looking at the off-season, how do you feel that the team was heading into the season? What goals were accomplished? Where did the team really get better with workouts and some practices?
Well, we're really lucky that a majority of our student athletes are multi-sport athletes, so to speak. We have a lot of field hockey, soccer, basketball, indoor track, outdoor track, cross-country players, and so they come in with that foundation already down. The thing that we really stressed is to make sure that you have your stick in your hand, you're consistent with your effort, you're improving your skills each week. We met once a week from November until the end of February for about an hour and 15 minutes, an hour and a half, to get in there and to just keep them moving, keep them consistent, keep them fresh. Get reps in as far as shots and, defensive drills, so that when we started in the beginning of March, we weren't starting from a clean, just like at the very bottom of the basement. We came in with a really solid foundation and, we built from there. Like, they've been so fun to coach. They are very energetic. They're eager to learn. And I feel like it's because they put the time in and they're committed to it.
No pun intended, but what were some of the goals from the offseason leading into the season? And then have they changed now, given that the team's 9-3, the postseason is right on the horizon?
I think the main thing that we wanted to give them was the ability to create and dominate their 1v1 situations. I think players are very much trying to figure out how to break down defenses and how to dominate that moment. We're still working on it. And I think, when you create that moment where you can establish your drive game, then that creates the opportunity to establish your feeding game. So, we're just kind of building in layers as we go. And they've done a really good job of adapting to this. So that was really our goal, is that they can, pick apart, not only on the attacking end, but on the defensive end as well, and be really confident with handling the ball. And that gave us the opportunity to work on some of the bigger picture concepts once the season started.
I know you could go up and down this roster and go through every player and say, hey, this is what they do well. Hey, this is where they've gotten better. But who are some of the seniors, the captains, that are really driving this team to be as competitive as they are?
We have 5 women who are seniors for this current group, and they are some of the most outstanding human beings you can find in Central PA. First of all, 2 of our captains, we have Leah Moyer and Kelly Shaffer Hood. Kelly went down with a season-ending injury in the first 35 minutes of our season opener, which is so unfortunate. But she's been a great voice on the sideline. Our other senior, Madeline Krentzman, is out right now with an injury, so she hasn't been on the field. We have Leah Moyer, and we have Phoebe Herlocker, and we have Grace Jones, who are just taking over the reins and really leading by example in practices, in games, in drills, off the field, on the field. These 5 women have an outstanding win record here with us in the last couple years. They range from, they get after it in the classroom. They range from a 4.0 to a 4.5 GPA, and that's overall. So they're outstanding students. They pay attention to detail. They walk the walk, and that's what I love about it. And they come and they're invested and they're coachable and they want to be great. And that's what I love about them.
State College's girls varsity lacrosse head coach Tara Hohenshelt is on the line with us. Coach, the schedule has been very kind to State College, but you've earned all the results, all wins. Again, 9-3 at the time of this conversation. Whether it's a win or a loss, is there a game that particularly stands out to you and the team as a learning moment or a building block of sorts?
I think they're all have been really. They've all been really individually. We've learned something from everything. So we've had, games where they're 18-1. Where we don't just let players go in and shoot. We really work on our offense, where we work on our defensive plays. And then we have the really close ones, like against Hershey, where, you have to really be aware of your situations, like with managing, the clock and managing the weather and managing your personnel. And they're really picking up on that. So, you have games like Hershey where it was a battle through and through. There were definitely runs. They got up and then we came back. We also faced our first game against Cumberland Valley where we were up, I think, 6-1 in the first half, and they came back and they blew us out of the water, and we weren't ready. So, that was our very first game. We had a young roster, but, we came back, and we've been battling since.
Couple more games left in the regular season before you go into playoffs. What can the team improve upon before heading into that do-or-die situation in the postseason?
I think it's just, doing what we know how to do and doing it well. And I think, taking care of the ground balls, taking care of the slides on defense, making sure that we're communicating on offense. We're really placing our shots. We're going with the best option and not the first option. So it's managing our game, and very much so at the high school level. We don't really get too much in depth with the scouting reports. We work on what we can do and how we can do that the best we can. So that's been a lot of fun. So those are a couple of things that we're going to be focusing on. We're going to be focusing on our fitness as well. We have a couple days off after our last game against Northern on Thursday, May 12th. So we're going to be working on that. We're going to be working on just getting back to fundamentals and teaching a little bit more of the game in that downtime before our next game for districts.
Now, what does the postseason look like? Because it's really different as the game continues to grow. I'm from Maryland, so lacrosse was very popular at the high school level, and Maryland right now is doing very well in lacrosse at the collegiate level. But in Pennsylvania, more schools are starting to join leagues and be competitive. What is the postseason landscape like for State College?
Well, it's interesting you say that. So I grew up in the Philadelphia, Delaware County, Delco. I'm shouting out to Delco, all my Delco people. But so it's very saturated there, and the game really starts back in the day. I know there are a ton of club teams where players can get involved as early as kindergarten. Here we have we're really hitting it hard with the youth program, and especially with the high school level, we're working on strengthening those skills and just the love of the game. In Central PA right now, up around the State College area, we have very few teams that sponsor girls lacrosse, and none of the school districts have an established girls lacrosse program at the middle school level through the school district. So that's the challenge that we face. Right now the school districts have field hockey, and they have basketball, and they have volleyball, but lacrosse is not part of that. So when they get to us in the ninth grade, they're already missing just that experience of competing within other school districts. So,
right.
That's where right now it's a little strange for us to have. We're going to have 12 days off before our district game, but I also think, our girls are road warriors. We travel at least 2 hours every week throughout the season to go play conference games. So, I don't know if it's the universe kind of looking out in our favor. We get a little bit of a break. We're not off, we're off the road for a little bit, but, we'll take it. We'll just use this time and, just do more team bonding and get fit. But it's odd, it's odd to see, we'll be sitting home right now and other teams are going to be playing and vying for that district championship and we're automatically going to it. So, it's a little odd. It's not common, but we're not going to complain either. We're going to celebrate it.
And State College has definitely earned it. I mean, again, like I said, the winning record and getting into the postseason is the telling point, and I expect the team to do well. And that's a conversation I like to have because I hope that the audience understands that it's not like example for football or boys and girls basketball where it's like, oh, when State College playing Mifflin County or Altoona for the District 6 6A championship. And unfortunately, the game hasn't grown enough to that point, but I would say it's trending in the right direction.
Right, and right now the Mid-Penn Conference has the Commonwealth Division and the Keystone Division, and the way it's set up is that they take the champion from each division to go to the Mid-Penn Championship. And right now, Cumberland Valley is sitting at the top. We played them in our very first game, and we lost to them, and they earned that victory. But I also know, on the other side, we beat Hershey, we beat Lower Dauphin, we beat Palmyra, and we've had Redland was awesome. They kicked our butts, but would love another shot at them. And right now, it looks like Cumberland Valley and Hershey are playing for the Mid-Penn Championship. I just don't think that one loss should deter you from not having an opportunity to play in that conference title game. That's what I would like to see change. I don't know if we need to do crossover games, make it one big pool, but I think the Mid-Penn Girls Lacrosse Committee, I would hope that they would take a look at that and see if there's a way we can make this better.
It's been a great conversation. Tara, one final question that I have is, what is the projected postseason outlook for State College? Is it hosting an opening round game? Who are some of the teams that you could expect to play in the state tournament?
Well, last year, we were fortunate enough to be able to represent our district, so we got to play Erie McDowell up in the District 10 site. We're hosting that this year. We won the game last year. We were, again, fortunate to be selected to play in that first round of states. I would think that we would play a team out of the Pittsburgh area, but you know what? In the grand scheme of it, the goal is to be playing, and the location to me, I don't know. I would love a home game. It's not. It doesn't matter. I just. Here's the thing. I want these players to experience what it means to put in time and get rewarded for it. And if that reward comes to a state playoff game, so be it. That would be incredible. The more time we get with them, the better. They're just great people to be around and fun to coach and fun to watch play.
State College girls varsity lacrosse head coach and former Penn State lacrosse defender Tara Hohenshelt joining us on the line today. Tara, thanks so much for your time. I hope that we can have a follow-up conversation to see how the team's doing in the postseason.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me, and thank you for your time. And thanks for giving the big shout-out to the State College girls lacrosse team. We really appreciate it.